Minecraft speedrunning is weird. There's just tons of techniques that don't seem natural and lead to a lot of confusion for spectators. Last video, I described some of these techniques used and discussed if they were glitches or not. Well, thanks to the comments, I got a lot more topics to talk about, and that's what I'll be going over today. So once again, we're going to classify what a glitch is and if the most popular Minecraft speedrunning category, any percent glitchless, is actually glitchless. Starting off, we have probably the most frequent comment I got last time with the one-shot. Minecraft speedruns require players to kill the dragon. While random seed runs use beds to do this, there lies another method. For this, we have to take a look at a different category, set seed glitchless. In the former world record by Hanabiyaki, we see him spawn in and instantly dig down into a stronghold. From here, he grabs a pickaxe and uses it to kill a skeleton. This skeleton drops a bow and arrow, which is a very key item. After entering the end through an already completed end portal, Hanabi waits for the dragon to charge him. We see him get hit by the dragon and fire an arrow which manages to take the ender dragon down instantly. So what's going on here? Allow me to do my best to explain. You might notice that getting hit by the dragon subjects you to knockback, and sometimes, for some reason, this hit causes you to get sent into orbit. This can be explained by a small, minuscule hitbox the dragon contains that increases a player's velocity exponentially. It's important to note that in order to experience this burst of speed, the player first needs to take damage from the dragon. Now this is only half of it. Something else you need to know is that the damage a bow does is based on the velocity of the arrow shot from it. At this point, I'm sure you can piece together what's going on. By using the velocity a player receives from the dragon, we can effectively create an arrow on steroids. With this knowledge, we're able to understand how set seed runs are able to beat the dragon so quickly. I'd like to add that however simple this may seem, it's not easy to pull off. In order to execute this, you have a window of a singular Minecraft tick to shoot the arrow. For the record, one tick is 0.05 seconds or 50 milliseconds. The amount of time you have to shoot the arrow is this long. It's pretty precise. Let's now determine if this is a glitch. Using the same definition as last time, a glitch is a sudden, usually temporary malfunction or irregularity of equipment. When we examine Minecraft strategies, we're looking for unintentional behaviors by the game. Currently, speedrun.com does not count the one-shot as a glitch, and I believe that this is the right decision. We know that arrows do damage based on velocity and that the dragon gives velocity. The players were able to connect the dots and figure out a method to take advantage of how the dragon functions. We also don't see any malfunctions of the game. Everything works normally, and this is why I don't consider it a glitch. If anything, it's an exploit, and an exploit is very different from a glitch. An exploit in this scenario is using the intentional dragon velocity to create a super arrow. So for the one shot, it is not a glitch. Moving on, we have another method runners use to beat the dragon. This is known as a ground zero, which is an alteration of the pre-existing zero cycle. As a quick explanation, a zero cycle takes advantage of the dragon's flight path along invisible nodes. Using these, players are able to blow up beds near these nodes to damage the dragon. This is the fastest method of killing the dragon, and we see it in Nofear's former world record. As for ground zero, it's similar but uses a few different mechanics of the dragon. The dragon has multiple states of behavior, which include guarding, charging, perching, and more. The one we're concerned with is strafing. Strafing occurs as the dragon is targeted on the player and attempts to shoot a fireball at them. The conditions for shooting a fireball requires that the player is in a 64 block radius of it and has line of sight. Line of sight occurs when the dragon is facing you and the view is not obstructed by blocks. This is the big mechanic players are abusing. By hiding from the dragon in blocks such as leaves, trapdoors, or iron bars, the dragon is forced to circle down towards you while not being able to shoot a fireball. At this point, runners are able to place beds and kill the dragon. It's a little bit finicky, but a cool strat nonetheless. Lengthy explanation out of the way, is this a glitch? Once again, no. The game functions properly and smart people were able to abuse it. This is just another exploit runners have found. Now I want to talk about something that's more questionable. One key part of speedrunning is, well, running. More specifically, sprinting. The drawback of sprinting, however, is that you lose hunger. So what if there was a way to prevent this and run forever? Well, there actually is with the technique of sprint punching. It's quite simple to pull off. All you have to do is punch an entity while sprinting and your hunger meter will never deplete. You can either hit a mob or if there are none around, you can hit a boat. While it was discovered for speedruns, this can be used for pretty much anything. The best part is that it works for sprint jumping. But how does this work? It's due to an error in the code. When you're sprinting and then punch a mob, the intended result is that your sprint gets interrupted, but this obviously isn't what happens. And since walking doesn't deplete hunger, you can run forever. Alright, you know the drill. Is this a glitch? And in this scenario, I'd have to say yes. This isn't an intentional mechanic and much closer to a malfunction. Sprinting is meant to deplete hunger and this technique prevents that from happening. But this glitch is used all the time in Minecraft speedruns and is allowed on the leaderboard, so what gives? Well, speedrun.com rules provide an outline when mentioning glitches. In general, we make rulings based on whether glitches can be done accidentally, how severely they stray from the spirit of the game as seen by the general Minecraft community, and whether they make the speedruns more or less fun to play. It's not like sprint punching ruins the game, not to mention that this can easily happen on accident. Players are always running around and punching mobs. It would be impossible to moderate a glitch like this. Something else I have to mention is how useless this glitch even is for speedruns. Now, for other settings, this is great. PvP or single player adventures can use this glitch to its fullest potential, however for speedruns, there just isn't that much utility for it. You might be questioning this, but let me explain. Yes, runners are always dashing around, but do you realize how often their sprint gets interrupted? A typical 1.16 speedrun doesn't require long intervals of running. Maybe sometimes in the nether, but the terrain doesn't often allow an uninterrupted sprint. Let's take a look at Drip's current world record. The longest example I could find of a continuous sprint is this. A total of 6.4 seconds. For the record, every 7 seconds of a sprint, your hunger goes down by 1 point. This glitch just isn't that useful for 1.16 speedruns, the most popular category. However, other speedrun categories may find that this is essential. Speaking from personal experience, I only knew about this glitch when I grinded pre-1.8 speedruns. In that version, you lose hunger really quickly and are forced to run long distances. However, overall, I would say that because sprint punching can occur on accident, this glitch deserves to be unbanned. Let's talk about something that runners do pretty commonly with the sprint crawl. Imagine you're playing a world and have to mine through a wall to get wherever you need to be. Well, you could just dig normally, but that's really slow. So why not get into a 1 block hole and crawl through? Well, that works, but then you're limited to the slow speed of a crawl. If only there was a way to combine crawling and sprinting. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. A sprint crawl is a technique that runners use that allows them to efficiently dig through a wall. It's cool because you're even able to sprint jump as well. Here's a clip of Doogile using it in a former PB. Because of this, he was able to navigate this horrible terrain as effectively as possible. As for how it works, I really don't know. I tried searching all over Discords, Reddit forums, and even the Minecraft wiki on how the sprint crawl is possible. Through all of this, I can't seem to find a single solid answer behind the mechanics of it. I don't even think that Minecraft themselves understands it completely. I mean, look at this official Minecraft article. The crawling state, in and of itself, was an accident in the first place. And because of this, I don't think I can confidently say whether this is a glitch or not. But then again, the creation of crawling also wasn't intentional, so how do you consider something like this? I will say that this definitely should be allowed for runs, however. This doesn't take away from the spirit of the game and does make runs more fun, so I say let it run. Also, let me know if you know something about sprint crawling that I don't. I'm interested in figuring out how this is possible. I've been on this topic for too long, so let's move on. Pearl clipping is something that runners use to go through a surface. It's incredibly simple to do. All you have to do is throw an ender pearl at the corner of a block and finagle your way onto the other side. The biggest application of this for speedruns is in the end. In order to pull off a zero cycle, runners need to get to a certain part of the dragon's fly path quickly. In this clip, Doogile spawns underground. By using a pearl clip, he's able to get out much faster compared to towering up. Thanks to this, he was able to make it in time and defeat the dragon. Pearl clipping is even used in basic survival worlds. It's the easiest way of getting to the nether roof. So how does it work? Again, I'm not exactly 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's due to pearls being finicky in the first place. It could also be that by throwing an ender pearl at the corner, you're forcing it to hit the block behind it. Because of this, you get teleported and the game doesn't know what to do, so it decides to push you up. Once again, I don't know if this is a glitch or not. Pearls themselves are weirdly coded in the first place. My first instinct is that it isn't necessarily a glitch. Ender pearls are meant to teleport players, so going through a single block doesn't seem absurd. I just think they're cool. Let me know what you think. And with that, I think I've run out of topics. Because I don't have anywhere else to talk about this, I'll just do it here. Did you know that Minecraft speedrunners often use different languages? One of the more popular ones is Bosnian. Languages are helpful for crafting. A technique known as search crafting uses the recipe book to create items. Once runners get into the end, they need to make beds and respawn anchors. What's interesting about this is that by typing IJ into the search bar, beds and respawn anchors show up. Not only this, but the string and glowstone required to make these items pop up as well. There's other helpful languages as well. German, Norwegian, and French Canadian to name a few. This didn't relate to the video, but it's pretty cool I think. There really aren't that many crazy glitches in Minecraft speedrunning. Overall, I'd say that Random Seed Glitchless really is glitchless. If you want to see runs that barely use any of these techniques, they exist. Stuff like Hyper Vanilla and No F3 runs are real things. Well, that's all I got. See ya!